Hello, boys and girls. How are you doing today? This is Dr. Durbin, and I am back with another story. I'm so excited to read this story with you. This story is one of my favorites, and it is called Wild About Books. And you know that I really enjoy reading books and sharing books with you. So let's sit back and enjoy another story. This again is called Wild About Books. Boys and girls, this story, the author, Judy Sierra, and she wrote all of the words to this wonderful story. And the illustrator is Mark Brown. And Mark Brown is the one who completed all of the pictures. As I read the story, I want you looking at the pictures and thinking about how the pictures and the words that the author wrote, how they relate together. And then as you're listening to those words, I want you to listen carefully because you might hear some special words that rhyme. And if you have a paper and pencil handy, you can write those words down. Okay? All right, let's read Wild About Books. It started the summer of 2002 when the Springfield librarian Molly McGrew, by mistake, drove her bookmobile into the zoo. Molly opened the door, she let down the stair, and turned on the computer and sat in her chair. At first, all the animals watched from a distance, but Molly could conquer the strongest resistance. Take a look at those animals. They are just so intrigued about what this lady is doing with a book under the tree. By reading aloud from the good Dr. Seuss, she quickly attracted a mink and a moose, a wombat, an oryx, a lemur, a lynx, 8 elephant calves, and a family of skinks. In a flash, every beast in the zoo was stampeding to learn all about this new something called reading. Forsaking their niches, their nests, and their nooks, they went wild, simply wild, about wonderful books, choosing thin books and fat books, and cat in the hat books, and new books and true books, and heaps of how to do books. Giraffes wanted tall books, and crickets craved small books, while geckos could only read stick to the wall books. The pandas demanded more books in Chinese. Molly filled their requests, always eager to please. She even found waterproof books for the otter, who never went swimming without Harry Potter. Raccoons read alone, and baboons read in bunches, and llamas, they read dramas while eating their lunches. Do you read books while you eat too? Just be careful not to get any food on the books. Hyenas shared jokes with the red-bellied snakes, and they howled and they hissed till their funny bones ached. Those must be some joke books. They enjoyed those. A tree kangaroo who adored Nancy Drew began solving mysteries right there at the zoo, such as why were the bandicoots' books overdue? Hmm. Gently, Molly taught lessons in treating books right. For the boa constrictor squeezed Crichter too tight. Baby bunnies mucked up Goodnight Moon with their paws. Giant termites devoured the Wizard of Oz. Do we eat books? No. And Bear's love of books was completely outrageous. They licked all the pictures right off of the pages. Oh my, I hope we don't lick our books. No, no. Tasmanian devils found books so exciting that soon they had given up fighting for writing. They made up adventures so thrilling and new that the others decided to be authors too. Pythons wrote with their tails, and penguins wrote with their bills, and porcupines wrote with their very own quills. Isn't that exciting to read books and be so inspired to write? I love that. Let's see what they wrote. Well, at the new insect zoo, bugs were scribbling haikus. The scorpion gave each a stinging review. Let's see what they said. Walking Stick says, a cannibal twig slightly devours a leaf, eating, not eaten. And the scorpion said, pretentious. Let's look at dung beetle. Roll a ball of dung, any kind of poo will do. Baby beetle bed. Stinks, said the scorpion. Millipede. I dig for treasure in my enchanted castle. A rotten apple. Boring. And the giant hissing cockroach? Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Hiss, 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 hiss. Redundant, says the scorpion. As the cheetah's new novel began to take shape, he read chapters each night to the Barbary ape. And although the gazelle couldn't spell very well, like everyone else, she had stories to tell. Imagine the hippo's enormous surprise when her memoir was given the Zulitzer Prize. Wow. I am so excited that the gazelle, although the gazelle had trouble spelling words, do you sometimes have trouble spelling words? You know what? It's okay. You just write, and write, and later on you can go back and get some help to fix those words. So the gazelle didn't give up. And the hippo, oh my goodness, it received an enormous surprise from writing. Think of all the words, the things that are very important that the hippo held dear to his heart, and then won a prize for the writing. Wow, I bet that was a special memoir. Lots of memories. With so many new books, Molly knew what to do. She hired 12 beavers, a stork, and a gnu to build a branch library there at the zoo. Then the animals cried, we can do it ourselves. We can check the books out. We can put them on shelves. And they did, and they do, up to this very day. 3 cheers for the Zoobrary. Hip, hip, hooray. Isn't that exciting how they want to take over the Zoobrary? That's wonderful. Then Molly doesn't have to stay there all the time. She can go home and then she can come back to visit. When you visit the zoo now, you surely won't mind if the animals seem just a bit hard to find. They are snug in their niches, their nests and their nooks, going wild, simply wild about wonderful books. Boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed this story. I had a lot of fun reading the story with you today, Wild About Books. And the next time you go to the zoo and you're looking for the animals to see what they do, I wonder if they're hiding inside their caves or their little nooks, and they're reading some books. Okay. And I wonder if the animals might be doing some writing. When you were listening to the story and you were thinking about, where did the author Judy Sierra get the idea to write this story? What were you thinking? I wonder if she got the idea to write this story from a time she went to this zoo and couldn't find any of the animals and was thinking, where are the animals at? Maybe that's how she was inspired to write this story. We find ideas all over the place to write stories. The next time you read a book, think about why the author wrote that book. All right? And then you can write a book. Did you hear some of the words that the author used, some of those rhyming words? Llamas and dramas, right? Those are some great words. So I hope that you have a list of words. And if you want to go back and listen to the story again, you can listen for some of those words and write them down. And then think again of pictures, how they relate with the words that the author wrote. And then you might again think of something else to write about. Maybe you want to read about more animals. How exciting that would be. All right, boys and girls, thank you for reading this book with me today. And again, if you would like to come back and read some more books with me, just make certain that you click that subscribe button that's down below, and also click on that little bell so that you can get some notifications when I am able to share another story with you. All right, you have a beautiful day. Go get a book and enjoy some reading. Take care.